Allow me to tell you something you already know. All the billions of us human beings have a huge amount of variations in how we think and how we feel. A lot of the time, these differences are beautiful and wonderful. A lot of the time, they can also be horrific. So it's nice, warming in my heart, to stumble across something that makes you realise that some things group some of us together, which is pure, beautiful and wholesome. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay, I'll get into it. In Britain, 77 million people are united by one common love. What is it? Well, people of the British Isles, on the count of 3, say it loudly, say it proudly, with gusto and passion. Your answer to this question. Who is your favourite steeplejack? 1, 2, 3. Was it him? Was it Fred Dabner? Of course it was. Reset 64's Craptastic 2020 competition invited programmers to submit games of their own creation to win the prize of being named Craptastic Champion 2020. The twist, the programmers only had 4 kilobytes to play with. The digital display on your microwave uses more than that. I'll be scoring the games for my own amusement. Each positive comment I make sees the game get awarded with a shite. The more shites the better, and the game with the most shites at the end wins. Something totally worthless. This entry was submitted to the Reset 64 magazine by Derek. Just plain old Derek, no fancy programmer name, not even a surname, just straightforward Derek. What do you think about that, Fred Dabner? Well, you know, if you are the only Derek in the room, you really don't need a load of numbers after your name. A pseudo name. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the name your mother and father gave you. Why do you need to change it? You know, I don't know if you would agree with that gap tooth there. This is the name my parents gave me. How did they know that I would grow up to be? Right. Fuck you, Fred Dabner. The objective of the game is to get this guy, who I'll call Fred. Could we call this a Fred Dabner simulator? A Fred Dabner-lator? No, that doesn't work. Our mission as the player is to take control of Fred and run him up and down these chimneys repairing them. Take a brick from this pile and run it up the ladders to one of the damaged bricks and replace it with the one you're carrying, returning the chimney to its full industrial magnificence. Not a job to be tackling if you've had a drink recently.
I've had characters work for me who in the morning at 9 o'clock, like they were got the shakes and sort of hell of a job getting up, but after they'd had about 5 pints at dinner time, they were quite full of beans.
Apparently I'm wrong. I can't piss straight when I've been drinking, but Fred's mates are okay to climb a 100-foot chimney and knock bricks out of it. There's no rush to get those bricks replaced. The chimneys aren't going to fall down as far as I know. I haven't seen any claps yet, just in case you're wondering what Fred would look like with the chimney on him.
Going!
What is going to hinder Fred from getting his job done isn't the heights, it isn't the wind, and it isn't even the 15 pints of real ale he had at lunchtime. The only obstacle is birds. And I say birds, but I have never in my life seen birds which look as evil as these lads. Look at them! They don't look like the real danger is that they will knock Fred off his ladder. They look like they would steal your soul and give it to a being which doesn't intend to do anything nice with it. You know, I knew this lad once. Got by one of them birds. Two birds, really. They carried him away into the distance. Oh my God, what happened to him? Oh, nothing. They're just sitting down in Manchester. He had to get the train back. That seemed like that was going to turn into an epic story. I'm a little disappointed for it. We get a power pill which makes Fred invincible for a few seconds. Very few. Being invincible allows for the opportunity to rack up a few extra points, not by killing the birds, but just by turning them around and sending them back in the direction they came from, which is somewhere that glows red most of the time, I would wager. There are no factories or buildings around these chimneys, which means that whatever these chimneys are servicing is underground. That can't be good. Nothing that's burning stuff underground can avoid being sinister. Maybe that's where the hellbirds are coming from. There's nothing smooth about the graphics. It is very blocky. Is that a pun? Bricks? Blocks? If it is, I'm not proud of that one. Of course this can be overlooked in a 4K competition, but having said that, it is nice and colourful, and that's all I can say about the graphics really. Here's an odd third reward. Brace yourself. This game reminds me of games that were on the BBC Micros we had in my school when I was a kid. Just the feel of them. Anything that makes me feel all doughy and sentimental surely deserves a third or two. No, one. Only one third. Incidentally, I'm talking 1991 here. That's right, 1991 at my school was still teaching kids IT on BBC Micros. You don't know how bloody good you had it. Sound. There is no music at any point, so yeah, no points there. When you lift a brick from the pile, you get a response from the brick pile, which sounds like it didn't understand a question you asked it. Hey brick pile, can an old computer really be considered dead if people are still making games for it in 2020? Hey brick pile, was calling a YouTube channel the Book of Genesis a really stupid idea because it has to compete against the Bible in YouTube searches? Hey brick pile, if you pack an empty Pringles tube with ham and then fuck it, is that technically bestiality necrophilia? Piles of bricks are not known for their decisiveness. The same noise occurs when you place a brick. Maybe it's just the individual bricks that are confused. Hey, are you talking to me? What am I supposed to do here? Just hang about with these guys? Oh, okay. Gameplay. The controls are tight and encourage you to take risks. In many ways, this feels very satisfactory in an arcadey type of way. It's actually very pleasant to play, but there's no variation of any kind in the gameplay. Sadly, there is not even an increase in difficulty as the levels progress, which detracts from any real desire to play it for any more than a few minutes. It gets pretty boring in a relatively short space of time. This is mainly due to the lack of variety, but it is also contributed to due to the low difficulty level and with no real rewards other than beating your own high score. In a lot of games, that can be all the motivation the player needs, but I just don't feel the desire to do that in this one. I don't feel good about saying this about somebody's hard work, but it is the truth. I actually fell asleep when I was playing Sticks. That feels awful to say about somebody's game. I need a shower now. Take over, Fred.
Really, you're dicing with death with a rotten old top on the chimney, you know. There's been a lot of men died fiddling with them things.
When I first got my hands on the Craptastic compilation, I played every game for a couple of minutes just to get a taster for them and then moved on to the next one. When I went back and played them for longer, I found that most of them were better than I originally thought they were. Stacks is one of the few exceptions. I initially liked stacks, but the more I played it, the less I liked it. That feels horrible to say. I need another shower. Take over again, Fred.
Got everything working according to how it should do, like the chutes at the bottom working well, which you can have a lot of trouble with them if you don't get the plates quite right. They keep getting bunged up and you're forevermore waiting for the bloke at the bottom to clear out the bricks, and you've got to make sure he's out the way, because if you drop one down and it comes shooting out and hits him up back at neck, he's dead.
Okay, let's score this. Stacks by Derek has scored 3 turds. Oof! Oh, that hurt so much. Derek, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I don't want this. I do not want this. I feel like a monster. I hate this feeling. You can download the Craptastic compilation from the Reset64itch.io page and follow them on Twitter at Reset64. Links below. And you know what I would like you to do here. Thank you very much. That's all from Exploring C64ing this evening. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely evening and good night!